But see, God had done something in David's life. Oh, I thank God for what the Lord has done in David's life. I'm talking about David right there. Huh? The Lord had done something in his life. Heretofore, David would have just killed him and thought nothing of it. But now that the Lord had anointed him for a third time, he understood that this is the time that I'm going to need to reign, and he couldn't do it the way he normally did it. Look at somebody and say, after the third anointing, you got to change your strategy. See, when you get the third anointing, there comes an authority with your third anointing, but with your third anointing, there comes a level of humility and accountability. And the Bible said he didn't do it by himself, but he inquired of the Lord. What would you have me do? Shall I? Now, this is not what he said. I'm saying this. Shall I just take these niggas out? I'm telling you, you don't think like that sometimes. Should I just take them out? The Bible says that God told him to go after them. Just go after them. Listen, this is not the first time that God told David to go after anybody. Because when they burned Ziklag, and everything in Ziklag was gone, he asked God, shall I pursue? And God said, pursue, you're going to become all. So he asked him, he said, shall I go after them? See, when you know your place is already set, you don't no longer have to do it yourself. You depend on the hand of God, because you know he's going to bring you through, and you're going to come out triumphant. So the Bible said he went after them, and then God gave him victory. Now you would have thought, after all of that, these foolish Philistines would have learned their lesson, would mind their business, and go on home. But how many of you know there's some folk that just come to taunt you? I thank God for all the felicitations today, but the reality is everybody not happy. The reality is everybody not happy. But it's okay when you have a century. You know, 50. I'm sorry. When you have a century, when you're 51, you don't care what people think. Because you've been through enough hell. You've been through enough training. You've been through the school of hard knocks. You no longer care what people think. Your only caring is what the Lord thinks. What does God say about me? Pleasing God. Here comes these foolish Philistines again. David again said, God, I'm about tired of this now. I've been through 3 anointings. You brought me to this season of my life. I need this to be over. Is there anybody in here, you just get to the point where you just tell God, I need this to be over. I've been dealing with this sickness long enough. I need this to be over. I've been dealing with this hell long enough. I need this to be over. I've been dealing with this aggravation long enough. I need you to do something about this, God. Is there anybody up in here today? You get to the place where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired and say, God, do something. When was the last time you asked him to do something and he did it? the whole thing.
Right.
So he said, what should I do, God? I enjoyed you, baby. He said, what should I do, God? I can multitask too, David. What should I do now, God? And this time God was strategic. Tell somebody God is a strategic God. He said, this time I don't want you to attack him from the front.